Hey, what's going on everybody? And this is the iPod Touch 2015 edition. Now I actually had the original version. It is the iPod Touch like 2012 edition. It's been a long time since this was updated. And it came with an Apple A5 chip and it is super slow right now. So this was a much needed update from Apple. So what exactly comes in this update? First off, if we take a look around the iPod Touch itself, you'll really not notice anything different. The only real difference between this and the older version of the iPod Touch is just the loop connection is gone. And I'm sure there were other people that liked the loop connection, but in all honesty, the loop kind of broke within the first 2 weeks and it was just a mess. Also, in terms of the outside, you get new colors along with the Apple iPod Touch. I went with the dark blue. I think it looks quite nice. So now they come with a different kind of color of space gray, and then they come with a gold, silver, pink, and blue, which is new. And then product red. Most of these colors were already there, but they have made some subtle changes to some of the other colors, and they've added dark blue. Now, one thing I do want to note that's on the outside of the hardware here, you have a pop-out on the camera. This is actually seen on a lot of other devices, so it's not that big of a deal, but I kind of wish it wasn't there. But we have to deal with it anyway. Now, most of the changes that happened to the Apple iPod Touch happened all on the inside. So on the inside of the iPod Touch, you'll notice that there is an Apple A8 processor with an Apple M8 coprocessor to manage all the motion. Now this is a huge jump to the 2012 iPod Touch that had an Apple A5 processor, and it was just getting super slow for the software that it had to run. So this was a much needed upgrade from Apple. Now, next update that they added was a new camera. So on the 2012 iPod Touch, they came with a 5 megapixel iSight camera, and they just upgraded that to the 8 megapixel camera that was found on the iPhone 5. Now the photos that this iPod takes are good. If you've ever used an iPhone 5 or 5S, you'll know how good this camera is. It's basically the same camera. It's not as good as the iPhone 6 camera just because it's not exactly up to par, and it doesn't have the 240 frames per second mode that you were able to find on the iPhone 6 or 6S. So to me, I really like this camera, and that's the main reason I got this. I got a camera because my HTC One M8 camera is not good. And this device itself, I can just take it anywhere. It's super light, it's super thin, and also with the new processor, taking photos is just super snappy. Everything is taken instantaneously, and it's just very, very nice. It's a nice experience. Now, the experience of this iPod itself is actually going to be very smooth. It's very snappy. You have the new Apple A8 chip, so it's automatically going to work with the latest software. And that with Apple's built-in apps and the whole App Store, everything is just going to be a beautiful experience. If you have ever used iOS, you'll know how iOS is, and it's just going to be the exact same experience as you had on the iPhone or iPad or whatnot. Playing games on this iPod is actually going to be very enjoyable. So if you're playing threes, like a very low intensive game, it's going to be very smooth, very snappy. Or even if you're playing a very graphic intense game such as Asphalt 8 or any other games like that, you're going to have a very nice smooth experience with this iPod. Now, who is this iPod for? Now, for me, the reason I bought this was because I don't have enough money for an iPhone, and I want an experience of iOS on one of the latest hardware from Apple. Now, of course, this isn't as good as an iPhone 6 or as good as an iPhone 6S. You will not buy this if you have an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 6S because it pretty much does the exact same thing. It even comes with a smaller display, so you wouldn't probably even want that. I bought that iPod for the exact reason. I don't need a phone, so I can just take this iPod and take it anywhere, have an awesome camera with me, and there I go. I have my iPod that plays some movies, watch some games. You can do whatever you want on it. And you get the whole plethora of the App Store to come with it with its 1.5 million apps. So you can download whatever you want. So yep, there you have it. That is the iPod Touch 2015 edition, and basically it's just a better upgrade from the previous iPod. It's for anyone that doesn't need an iPhone, and that's basically it. I really love this iPod because I can take it anywhere I want, and I don't need a full-fledged iPhone. And it's like $300, $400 cheaper than the iPhone. So it's a good experience, and it's a good buy for me. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts about the Apple iPod Touch 2015 edition are, and I will see you in the next one.